Hello and welcome to Cosmo Muse Tarot. So we are going to dive into some readings, some outlooks, predictions for your May 2023. And I am, for those of you that are regulars or have come to my monthly readings, just a heads up, I am playing with a new format, a new way of doing these. So definitely in the comments, let me know if this way is resonating or if you like the past way a little bit more, just a little bit of playfulness here going on. Okay, so we have 4 piles to choose from a crystal deck for your May readings. We've got Fluorite for pile 1. We've got Carnelian for pile 2. We've got Tourmalinated Quartz for pile 3. And Jade for pile 4. Okay, so for those of you that have your own process with picking cards, feel free to pause here or to just jump to your pile if you already have that in the timestamps. Otherwise, for those of you that like the breath work I lead, we will jump into that now. So place your feet firmly on the ground. Feel that stability underfoot. Now take a deep breath into that and wait and ground your body into the earth, into the stability. And now exhale. Now take another deep breath, and this time suck that air up, up, up into the space between your brows. Hold it there, suck in a little bit more to add pressure. And then out loud, exhale, opening up your crown chakra. And now tune into these 4 piles, whether it's the number 1, 2, 3, 4, the colors on the stones, the stone itself, and ask which one has your message for May. All right, I will see you guys in your piles. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your May 2023 forecast tarot reading. So you guys picked Fluorite, and this card is indicating sort of like the motor that's going to be driving some sort of journey through your month. So we're going to use some animal cards on each side to see kind of where you're coming from and where you will be kind of going or landing by the end of the month. And so Fluorite is find peace within. So during May, there may be this kind of drive, this motor, this desire to really connect back into your center, to get centered and to find, I just got this image of like a storm kind of, what's not a hurricane, but some kind of like a whirlwind type storm, and trying to move from the outskirts of that where it's sort of the most tumultuous into your center where you can be calm and still and be able to sort of see what's going on in your life or around you or within you from just like a more calm place to help calm all of the movement. I don't know if it's like there's a lot of movement or busyness or if there's some drama going on, but finding a way to get into kind of that calm, peaceful inner state where you can see that with like a little bit more objectivity and in a way that helps you to calm that storm, to calm the waves, the debris, the whirlwind, and just to kind of create more peace in your life through finding that within first. Okay, so we're going to look at where you're started this month, hence, maybe where you're coming from with this need to find peace. We've got Nightingale. So this does feel to me like there are some truths that are arising within you that you're really needing to express right now. And by doing that, that's maybe created a ripple effect that is creating a lot of change in your environment. But what that's about is kind of clearing the way, helping to clear blocks, helping to clear obstacles in order for the truth and a certain expression and in general, just like an expression that's needing to come through you. It's really helping to clear the field for you to be kind of more authentically you and to connect to what your authenticity is. So I think where you're starting and where there may be just like some tumultuous feelings that are driving you to that more inner place to find peace are because you've expressed certain things out into the world. And it's just a process, and it's a beautiful one that will clear some errors, clear some paths. Yeah, so let's get a little bit of astrology insight about what area of life this might be in relation to. There's I think there's some deep understanding coming through you right now about sort of stepping into your mastery and authority and really seeing that you have some deep skill within that. But I think you've seen some shadows of how you've maybe either felt oppressed or that you have personally repressed for some reason. So whatever expression has been coming out of you as you step into May, or some truths that you've been speaking, it's really clearing the air around this kind of thing. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit more context around this. Happiness. Yeah, so whatever you're expressing and whatever truths are coming to light for you, it's all related to you connecting back to what makes you happy, what makes you feel light, what makes you feel alive. Just tuning into both, the sun here and the ocean here, this fluidity, and just like riding the elements with kind of a lightness and a fun attitude. Actually, what I'm seeing now that this card has come out, it kind of creates more context around the astrology, is I think you're actually seeing some shadows around ways in which you've taken life too seriously and maybe worked too hard. So there's a little bit of a different context arising now that happiness has come out. I think you are someone who has a lot of mastery and has a lot of authority, but that side of you is it's been either overused, or I don't want to say overdeveloped because it's great to have that developed, but it's like too weighted. It's been too weighted in your life, and it's like you're realizing that, you're really comprehending and understanding. You've seen some shadows of this, and so you're expressing some truth about this, or you're just finding a new kind of expression coming out of you, and it's creating just like a little bit of maybe turmoil in your life because of that kind of vibrational shift that you're putting out there. Yeah, so let's look at where you are moving toward with this. When you kind of really get into your inner peace, what is going to arise? And I love what came out. This is perfect. So you're moving from the start of May. It's like you've seen the shadow of something around being too serious, or just like not waiting enough lightness and fun in your life. And that's kind of kicking up some, I don't want to say drama, but just some energy, that's clearing certain things in your life, and it's reorienting, it's redistributing how you're connecting to life and yourself. And as you kind of go within and find your center to kind of reorder how much you weight sort of a lightness with a seriousness, you're going to step into, by the end of May, like a real sense of strength and an ability to really stand up for yourself in enacting life in this way, in being more balanced in your playfulness and versus your seriousness. It's like you're really going to take the that mastery and authority that's been maybe a little too serious, and you're going to be able to apply that to how confidently you claim for yourself some balanced lightness in your life. Okay, let's give it some astrology context of where you're landing. Oh, that's cool. So I see that even affecting your day-to-day and your work rhythms. I think you're really dispelling karma around how you create the rhythms of your day-to-day, and really stepping into some big picture foresight, some deeper structure in making your day-to-day balanced with the lightness, and being very confident about it, and very it's just like standing in your power about that life isn't just work. You're seeing the karma, you're seeing the need to really balance something a lot better. And however you've landed at this confidence of like really knowing how to step into a little bit more lightness in your day-to-day, it's come from, in this drive of May of finding yourself within and figuring out what does actually center you and what does feel peaceful to your nervous system. And I think that's going to be unique to each of you. Some people really thrive with a lot of busyness and movement and connection, and some people really need space in their days and time for dreaming, and some people really want their house and their family in order, and some people are more career driven. And I think you're just, this month you're going in to find that inner peace of what it is that makes you happy in the way you organize and rhythm your days. So really, gorgeous stuff there. Let's get some context on this stingray side. Embracing. I think that's really beautiful. I mean, I literally just see you embracing kind of like a new rhythm, and finding, moving from like recognizing and comprehending a truth to allowing life to maybe like fall apart a little, which turns you inside, turns you inward. And in finding your inner peace, you're able to just like reorder everything and really step like into your confidence and embrace with just solidity and knowing and assuredness in terms of like really, completely it's like rethinking and reordering how you run your days, what you make your day-to-day life about. What is the balance of things? What is the rhythm of things? How wired do you like to be versus soft and gentle do you like to be? And just like really getting something about this. Okay, let's look at a little bit more context about the journey from finding this understanding to kind of stepping into and acting it and finding your confidence in manifesting this. Why? Chop wood, that's so perfect. We'll get there. Just one more. And breathe. Oh my gosh, these are such perfect cards. I can't believe it. I think that you're coming, whether it's like you come into May like this or it takes you into, the first week to get into this, I think that there's potentially like some health issues, just like minor though, like minor health issues or certain patterns that kind of result like patterns of outcomes that you have in your life that you start asking some really good questions about and observing. And it's you taking the time to ask, why does this always happen? Or why am I always tired? Or why, whatever it is that really deeply is entangled with your sense of purpose, your sense of rhythm, your sense of how your day-to-day feels to you, and taking time to ask those questions and pause with it is what gives you that truth that you find understanding about and really start to express. And then the chop wood, this is all about those daily rhythms. And I think here what we're finding coming right under that, finding peace within, for some of you, this may have a lot to do with not necessarily completely changing, what you do every day, but how you approach what you do every day. What are your daily rhythms? And starting to kind of refine that, weed things out that are unnecessary, and tapping into what are those stable things that should be there, that you want to do. And by weeding out other things, really finding a way to make those things that you do feel are necessary in your day-to-day more sacred, more meaningful, more beautiful in how you do it and how you connect to those things. And I think it is that going inward process, that finding that inner peace. You're going to find a way to reconnect with the things that are necessary in just like a very different way. And coming out with that new confidence in doing your days in a much more beautiful way, and feeling the ability to stand up for yourself and how you want to organize and rhythm your days, and really embracing this new kind of insight and ordering. It is giving you that calm and that ability to breathe and feel like much more present and serene and able to respond versus react in life. And I'm definitely seeing in this breathe card, I Particularly, this number stands out to me against any of the others I'm seeing, that 29, which equals 11. It's like there's some, there are some spiritual energies with you that are helping you with this. So like you're being guided, you're being given insight, downloads, messages, all of that. So really beautiful. Okay, we're gonna add in another layer of context through the elements. Atoms, building. Yeah, the whole way you structure whatever truths and understanding you kind of come into the ahas about in terms of what will make you happier in your day-to-days. It's just like it's creating a whole new foundation for you. You're going down to the foundational level of this. And I think it's needed for whatever reason. I think there's, it's like, either you have too much on your plate, or like we talked about before, you're coming from just taking life and yourself way too seriously, or your daily expectations way too seriously. And it's like, something just comes through and you're like, oh, this is not how you do it. I need some lightness built in, rhythmed, woven into my life. And at the very foundational level, you're going to start doing this. Yes. And as you step into embracing that and feeling, a lot of confidence in just, claiming this, doing it for yourself, it's like the world comes to life in such a beautiful way, and you're just going to have, it's just like this new lightness woven into your day-to-days allows you to notice life and be present to life so much more. And it's just like you start to see life communicating with you in all sorts of ways that you've either been too busy to notice, or just haven't had that lightness and calm to be able to develop a relationship with the subtle world. But I think life is going to start talking to you in very different ways and in very beautiful, flourishing. I think you're going to also see the purpose of creating really healthy ecosystems around you, even within all of the different categories of life, how you eat, how you do chores, how you work, how you balance time for, reading in the evenings versus family time. It's just like you're going to find that beautiful ecosystem that balances everything in such a, just a very alive and thriving way. So it's a really beautiful transition you're going through here. Okay, we're gonna do some tarot cards to end, and then just like a nice little message from Spirit too at the very, very end. This one, the Emperor, This is like a very much so a rebirth, a reordering coming through, and the drive to do that. One more. Yeah, this is gorgeous energy. So, I think you're really getting it. You're really understanding a need to create new order, And sometimes we have to tear things down, like the foundation is wrong, and you have to tear things down all the way down to the foundation to revive that creative spark within. And it does create a bit of a storm. It's a whirlwind. You have to kind of dissect, take apart, and then reorder. And I feel like the process of doing this, it is a little bit of a whirlwind. There is going to be a need to like kind of stay in your inner peace to calmly handle that reordering, because it will be a little, a little bit of a storm. But I feel like you're very driven to do this, and it's reviving you. And it's tearing down a whole order of how you've rhythmed your days that just was falling apart anyway. And by the end of May, I just see you like feeling so celebratory, potentially even like spaces in your life becoming more usable and more healthy to bring people into, and like feeling the need to or excited to kind of like bring people into your spaces. And in general, there's a celebratory thing, and I don't know why I keep feeling like your spaces will feel like you'll feel eager to bring people into your spaces, because they'll just feel newly alive and vibrant, and like you'll want to share that or something. If that resonates, you can take that. Otherwise, it's just like this, lightness, this feeling of celebrating life coming in. Okay, we'll get just one last message from Spirit for you guys. Turkey, honor your own time of harvest. Offer your gifts and blessings as service to the greater good. And I feel like that's sort of where you're ending. Like I think by the end of May, there's just like something that there's like a new ecosystem that you're feeling really strong and embracing of and very celebratory of. And it's like you create a new style of harvest in the way your daily rhythms kind of produce results in your life, that you're gonna, that it's gonna be much more productive, and like the cup runneth over because of that, and you're gonna want to share it. I feel like, and so that's where I'm feeling that thing of like just a deep upliftment and spirited quality, that lightness of the dolphin coming in, happiness, and really wanting to like offer things to people, invite people into things, just much more connected to life as thriving and lighter. So beautiful. That's quite some work to do over a month. So wow, I'll get to it, I guess. This is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Thoughtful and kind little comments are always fun to peruse, and definitely subscribe if you are not yet. And I will see you in another reading. Happy May, everyone. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your May 2023 reading. So I am doing a little different approach this month to see how it goes, a little bit more centered on taking us through the journey of your month, sort of where your starting is, what your energy is as you start the month, and sort of the journey through the month, where that kind of takes you, or where you're moving toward at least. So this card that you picked and that I've put in the center between these two energies is kind of the motor, kind of the center of why we're on this journey, what's taking us along in this kind of transition of energy. And you guys have Carnelian, which this one says, feed your creativity. Okay, so let's dive into some cards to see what that might be about. So we're going to start with where you are entering May. Where is your energy when we enter May? And you have the butterfly. So a new lightness is being touched into, a sense of kind of rebirth. I know that we will have just been through the solar eclipse, and then I think the lunar eclipse is probably somewhat early in May. So eclipse time definitely does bring sort of rebirth energy, like endings and beginnings. But as we go into May, we are going to be on the side of the newness coming through versus the endings, so new beginnings. So you may already be feeling some transition, some sort of rebirth that's around you as you come into the month of May. Let's get some astrology insight into this. Okay. Yeah, something in your foundations, in, you know, whether that for you has to do with like home and family, or it may have to do with like your sense of femininity, or your connection to your soul, or just a sense of stability in life in general. There's something here that you are like in flow with, and you're feeling sort of an expansive quality around. It feels very beautiful. I think you're in a pretty good place coming into May. Just, yeah, like things flowing down in the depths and the foundations of your life, and having some vision there. Okay, let's get a little more context about this. Relaxation. Beautiful. So, and I like how this moon matches the Carnelian. Yeah, whatever is going on with this kind of rebirth, or this sense of lightness and flow and growth in the foundations of your life, is definitely having you kind of, yeah, just like relaxing into life, going with the flow. And something about that is really feeding your creativity. Something about feeling your foundations a little bit more easily underfoot, and even spiritually underfoot. I get the sense that there is like some guidance or some protection, and like you already kind of sense that like things are just really nice in the foundations. And there's just something about that, being able to lean into that, kind of take your pedal off of the gas a little bit in life. That there's some ability with that coming through that is really helping you to reconnect to your creativity. So let's see what that then kind of takes you toward as that creativity gets turned on, and your relaxation just is like feeding you, feeding that creativity and feeding you. Ooh, yeah, there's so much spiritual energy in this reading. I think you're coming, yeah, it's like you're coming from some rebirth in this foundational way, or in the foundations of your life. You're relaxing into it. You're feeling the ability to lean into that. It's getting you in touch with the flow of your creativity, which further opens you to guidance and protection and inspiration and downloads from spirit, and this ability to actually like really incubate things you're wanting to manifest that are really dear and really like miraculous in your life. So let's see some astrology around this side, where you're headed. Yeah, ooh, okay. So this is leading you to like feeling that spiritual inspiration and protection to incubate. I don't think you'll see it by the end of May, but you will certainly feel it and feel that sense of like you wanting to protect this because you know it's coming congealing, but also this sense of the divine around it as well, is that like a really bold new sense of empowerment in how you find self-love and how you connect to your worth. So potentially around sort of like some financial power or material power in life. Yeah, it's beautiful. Really gorgeous energy. Okay, let's get just a little more context there. Wonders. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is like such the spiritual energy. Yeah, I mean, I think you're just kind of going with the flow. You're really open to inspiration. You're really open to awe. I think you're open to miracles. You're open to manifesting. I think life is just like newly organizing around you because you've embraced sort of this, your butterflyness is yeah, just opening you up to life working so much more in flow with what you most deeply desire, and really helping to turn on your creativity in a way that's maybe, you know, not been present for some time. Beautiful. Okay, let's get a little more context about the journey between the butterfly to the cosmic egg. Loyal heart, gorgeous. Oh, both of these to the sea. Community. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that part of this rebirth you're feeling is because you've found the key to knowing how to let your heart lead in life, and really trusting and leaning into the wisdom it has and the strength it has. And I'm just looking at 30, 35 adds up to an 8. It's like a strong heart, and having found the key to living through your heart and letting your heart lead. And yeah, with these owls, just like the wisdom as well as the regality. It's just, yeah, I feel like you've really figured something out about that, and it's allowing you to just kind of trust your heart. And so other parts of you, like mind and emotions and all these things that we get so wrapped up in and swayed by, just being able to kind of chill out because they're like, oh, I don't need to work in overdrive. Like my heart has the answers if I just listen. So I can just, relax, just relax, listen to the heart, let it lead, and it just makes my path light. And I think that it's helping you to find, reconnect to community and finding a lot of that creative flow, that this new quality and sensibility that's kind of rebirthing in you. That fluid creativity that it's creating is helping you to reconnect in life and reinterpret for yourself what kind of community you thrive in, the purpose of community, finding some belonging, really feeling plugged in. Yeah, it's beautiful. And then coming into the end of May, when you start sort of really incubating and protecting just really divine miraculous feeling manifestations. I think you're just completely surrendered into spirit. And, love this face on this card. Like, you're protected, so you're just allowing life to happen. You're just surrendered and you're letting spirit kind of take the wheel. And I think it's because, you've learned something about trusting your heart, and it's like your heart is very much so in touch with the divine and spirit, and so it can directly say, oh, hey, I can even relax because something else is intervening right now, and it's like fate or destiny kind of has its hand in whatever is going on, and I can just relax into that because we're being protected. Wow, this is some crazy, beautiful energy, you guys. Okay, let's get a little more context, another layer. Feeling that one. Light, the sun. Yeah, I think leaning into your heart, relaxing into life, feeling this lightness, everything starts to come into alignment. Your energy starts to flow, your creativity, your heart's alive, your energy's flourishing. It's like things are aligned and things are feeling creative because of that. Okay. And then cleansing storms. It's interesting. There are some, it has a very different feel, but pile one had some things in here that make me think. There's some general threads in May that will be playing out. I do think this lighter approach to life, this new alignment, this new heart-centric being is helping to sort of clear debris from your life, clear stresses, clear whatever it is for you that is feeling overly weighted or keeping you kind of down or stuck, whatever that is. It's like this whole new way of centering yourself that's really landing, that's really coming alive for you in May is clearing paths, clearing the air, clearing anything that's too heavy away. It's beautiful. Okay, to end, we're going to do some tarot cards just to get some more nuance to all of this, and then at the very end we will end with a feather message from the divine. This card. Okay, the Hierophant. Chariot, that makes sense. Ooh, Two of Cups, beautiful. Last one. Seven of Crystals, which to me matches very well with this cosmic egg. Yeah, whatever wisdom you've come upon about, I do feel like you're coming into me with some rebirth, and whatever wisdom has kind of integrated within you because of this rebirth, or that enabled the rebirth. There's some wisdom that's like integrated in you, that's newly alive and fresh and eager feeling, and it's really a guiding light for you right now. And it's creating a lot of movement in your life, a lot of harmony in your life. Life is really just taking off for sure. yeah. And I do just feel this thing of like you are going, by the end of May, you're going to have very clear purposes and intentions that you are molding and cultivating in terms of things you are actively working to manifest in your life. It's like a lot of direction, and specifically around, like financial power, taking the reins, with this Aries energy. It's like taking the reins and taking some control for yourself. Like, even though there's a lot of spiritual protection and divine energy coming here, it's like you still have to assert for yourself, like getting really clear within you of like what I want, what I'm going to focus on, what I'm going to bring order to. So I think you're getting really clear, really bold energy about asking for what you want, because there's so much beautiful energy on your side, both within you and around you. And just like really believing in what you can manifest, and starting to mold life in new, powerful, material ways. I do get the sense with both of these that, it's going to take some time, but it's like things are flowing right. You have the right wisdom, the right understanding, the right protection, the right attitude, the right heart orientation. Your soul is very much so lit up and in harmony here. It's just like, everything's starting to flow. And by the end of May, it's like you will know very clearly what you're trying to manifest and how you can take steps to do that, what you need to do to cultivate it, and feeling very protected and divinely guided in that. So gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, let's end with just a quick, nice feather message from the divine for you guys. Kingfisher, prosperity is flowing. Have faith that you will receive it in the perfect form. I mean, what we just talked about. Beautiful. Okay, gorgeous May, you guys. Really, really beautiful. This energy just feels so, I don't know, light and protected and trusting and filled with manifesting movement. So anyway, this is where I'm going to leave you. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Kind and thoughtful little comments are always fun to peruse, and definitely subscribe if you're not yet. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your May 2023 outlook and forecast. You guys picked the Tourmalinated Quartz card, and this is going to be the card that shows us. So I'm switching this month how I'm doing these monthly readings, and it's going to be a little bit more of a journey through May, or through the month. And so this card is showing kind of the motor of what it is that's motivating us to move from where we start in May toward where we are headed, or where we may at least be moving toward by the end of May, or landing by the end of May. So for you guys, the description on this card says, get out of your own way. So I definitely feel like you guys are my pile of go-getters. At least, whether that's you always, or just this month. So you may relate to that in general, but if not, there's something about May where you are kind of going to, I think, be driven to be more of a go-getter than typical. Okay, so let's see where your starting energy is at. And you've got Cobra. So it's very possible that you have stepped into May having either like learned some new things, been under some mentorship, or having been in that position yourself, sort of taking someone under your wing or teaching certain things. But just like this new, and you could be on both sides of that equation, maybe a little bit of both relates. But however you relate to that energy, it's like new wisdom and sage understanding coming through, whether that's in stepping into being able to really be a guiding light, or having found some guiding wisdom that now has sort of like integrated into you through things you've learned. And I also feel that kind of lived experience, like there's something new experience integrated in you because you've lived certain things that feel maybe important to you as you step into May. Let's get a little bit of astrology insight into this Cobra energy. Yeah, I mean, this definitely feels more like, excuse me, stepping up into sort of leadership, trusting your authority in being a leader and having vision and wisdom. So I do feel like the majority of you that have come here, it's like maybe you're coming from having felt the confidence, having felt a certain confidence in your authority, in your mastery, in your kind of wisdom in life in general. Yeah, so let's get another context around this. Oops, that came really fast. So opportunity. So something about having the particular kind of lived experience. You have this ability to be a guiding light, especially in sort of leadership and vision and mastery, is like you're walking into May with some new opportunities opening to you. So doesn't surprise me that there's this get out of your own way, because it's like time to kind of act on these opportunities. If there are some opportunities at your door as you walk into May that you're kind of like, do I need to be the Cobra and sit and ponder this and philosophize about it, or, you know, whatever. It's like, get out of your mind and let your gut tell you, ask your gut yes, no questions that are very simple. Like, is this the right opportunity? Because there may be multiple opportunities you're having to kind of choose between. Or there may just be an opportunity that you're weighing and measuring, and this is just sort of like, stop, ask your gut and follow your gut here. But I am getting the sense that it's time to act, time to create growth and forward movement, and grasp the opportunities that are presenting themselves if it feels right to your gut. Okay, let's see. So how this kind of energy of like really having felt your command and authority and opportunities you're weighing, and this need to kind of just start taking action, where that's going to start leading your energy. Inner knowing. Yeah. This Cobra can be a little bit heady sometimes, a little bit of a philosopher, which sometimes can have us thinking in circles, even though it has some wisdom and some lived experience. This is saying the more you move into May, and the more certain opportunities present themselves, and this feeling of needing to like get out of philosopher mode and make life, kind of push forward, by getting out of your own way, as in like getting out of your own head and philosophies and weighing and measuring things and whatever it is that may be keeping you from acting as quickly as Spirit is saying you should be. It's like the more you lean towards action, making decisions, letting your gut sort of be a leader for you, the more you are going to get in touch with certain inner knowings you have. And I think it's like going to unlock knowings that you have that you've never had access to, been able to assess. Yeah, there's certain things coming up that are very unique, like new to your life. But you have, whether it's from past lives or certain things in your DNA that have never been pressed upon to be used, there are things that you're going to need to kind of trust yourself to trust the knowings that come up, because they are coming from something big and important. So yeah, the more you get out of your own way, the more you make decisions, the more you act, the more those inner knowings are going to unlock. And then by the end of May, I think you're going to be very much so in this trust of your inner self, and this trust of things that you may not understand where these knowings are coming from, or surprising yourself by certain qualities you didn't realize you had. But yeah, I think by the end of May, you're really going to be surprising yourself by what you didn't know you knew. Okay, let's get some astrology context around this unicorn energy. Okay. Yeah, trusting your intuition, trusting your gut, it's really going to create some forward movement for you, and especially around how you're finding kind of purpose and rhythm in life. That's interesting. The candle just went out, and so there's smoke everywhere. It's like a clearing, like your energy is going to feel very purified and cleared with that smoke that just came through. Paths cleared. It's like a real new trust in your intuitive sense, and it bringing you just like so much more clarity around something to do with your purpose, or something to do with the type of work you engage, your daily rhythms. Yeah, I mean, for some of you, this could be like work opportunities coming through. Yeah, for others, it's just something about your sense of purpose, your sense of how you cultivate your day-to-day. That's interesting. That's sort of that day-to-day thing has already come up. There are some threads that are weaving through generally in May, I think, universally. Yeah, okay, let's get another context around this unicorn. Ooh, adventures. That's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, this get out of your own way and this need for growth, feeling that go-getter energy that will be pushed upon you in May to kind of tap into. And then talking about the more you lean into that and the more you unlock knowings you didn't know you knew. Yeah, I think it's going to help you to see life in a different way and charge forward into maybe terrain that's foreign to you. Really like making bold moves in life, feeling very, very different energy. Very different energy where you're really going to have to tap into part of you, parts of you that you have not tapped into before. Yeah, really interesting, really cool. Yeah, okay. Let's get a little bit more context about this journey from Cobra to Unicorn. Let's find this. Serendipity. Yeah, opportunities are definitely clean it up and come to the edge. yeah, whatever opportunities are either already present when you enter May or that kind of come in the first week or so, I think they're going to feel like divinely guided to you. I think you may already, if you once you see this reading, haven't already had either an opportunity or opportunities present themselves. You've probably already seen some interesting synchronous types of events. But yeah, whatever does come up when there are opportunities that do come up, I think you are going to have the sense that they've been very divinely guided to you and lucky. Yeah. And that's why, sometimes with these kind of cosmic openings, they aren't open forever. And I think that's why it's saying, like, get out of, even though this thing may feel very foreign to you or different than what you would have expected, these opportunities and serendipitous things coming your way are your path to growth. And it's like, don't philosophize about it and weigh and measure it. Like, it may be different than what you would have thought was supposed to be coming your way. But maybe it's much more aligned and much more fertile for you. Yeah, and so I do think with this cleaning it up card, I do think that this does add a lot of context here of like why you need to get out of your own way. I do think what is coming is a little bit unexpected and different than where you had been directing yourself. And, but you're going to know, you'll feel it in your gut of like, oh, whoa, this is not anything I was expecting, but like this feels really good, but what about these other things I'm pursuing? And I think this is where the clean it up and get out of your own way come in. It's like, when life opens up opportunities to you that feel the way they feel in your gut, that are positive and lit up, you need to get rid of these old expectations, maybe old goals that are outdated, things you've grown out of. It's time to clear those away so you can really have the presence you need and the clarity you need to connect to these new things that are kind of on offer very divinely. You need to clear a lot of this old stuff that I think you already know is baggage. Sometimes it takes a minute to detach from things we even know are baggage, but I think it's like you already know something's not working in terms of what you've been working toward. That would differ, there's probably things you've been working toward that are fine, but there's certain things I think that have not been working for you that you've been working toward that are in direct kind of conflict with the serendipitous and beautiful divine opportunities coming your way. And so it's just like, it's going to take, mid-May to kind of release these old expectations, release yourself from things you already feel like you keep hitting your head against the wall with, and go through the process you need to kind of clear that out, let it go, potentially even grieve certain things so that you can really come to a new edge that feels exciting, that feels adventurous, that's totally different, totally new, and that is unlocking parts of you that you didn't even know existed. But it's going to feel, being at this edge that you're unfamiliar with is going to be really exciting. So, do whatever you can to get out of your own way and clear out those old things that just keep, are holding you back. They're just not working. Okay, let's get a little more context here. The soul passion. I think whatever does come up, even though it feels divinely guided, I think your soul's been calling for like a new birth, a new way of connecting, feeling connected to itself, or feeling like it's your actions and goals are in alignment with it. Yeah, and whatever, so whatever does come in, it's partially your soul having called it in because something that's been out of alignment with what you have been trying to do that's different from what gets called into you. And then mystery, dark matter. Yeah, I mean, I love that this keeps showing up of like, whatever is coming your way, it's going to feel so... the word bizarre comes to mind. I think it's going to feel bizarre to you. You're going to be like, why did this come to me? Where did it come from? But, the divine and our soul and inner knowings that get unlocked that we've never accessed before, so, it can feel that way. But also this card feels a little bit Plutonian to me as well. And I think there's something that you've worked really hard to empower in yourself, maybe something about connecting to your soul that is at the root of this. It's a little bit esoteric, whatever you've worked hard at, but it's it's unlocking things in ways you couldn't have imagined. And it's really, I think it's really going to empower you. Whatever these opportunities are that may be in direct opposition or conflict to other things that are not working, it's like your empowerment is trying to break through here. Yeah, very cool. Okay, let's do, to end, some tarot cards to add some nuance here. And then after that, we will finish with a divine feather message from Spirit, just a little guidance. Okay, Wheel of Fortune. Yep, something's shifting. Change of season, change of focus. Yeah. And I think at least on some level, if not conscious, you've been eager for some sort of change of direction or focus. 5 of Crystals. Yeah, I think you've already been doing a lot of work around assessing what your values are. And really, why is there a cat in this coin? I've never noticed that. There's a cat face. I don't even know what that means. Maybe you're a cat person. Independence. Cats are very independent. Maybe there's some quality of independence you've been is that a lion in the next one? Hold on, I have to look closer at this card. I can't see any in the smaller 3, but I think there's a lion face on that second pentacle or crystal. Yeah, which does show this change, this shift from being, like a house cat that's a little dependent on its food and care, to finding this new value within that you're actually a lion. Yeah, that's interesting. I think that you've done a lot of work on your, what are your values and really shifting those inwardly. And these opportunities and serendipitous things and this change of focus and, metaphorically change of season coming into your life is a reflection of inner changes in value you've had and an inner way of seeing who you are as a little bit more ferocious and independent than you previously perceived yourself to be. Because like a house cat is still independent and mysterious and whatnot. They have their own amazing beauty, but it's like hey, did you actually know though that you're a lion, not a house cat? That kind of change in understanding your value is pretty massive. So it does feel like a pretty big shift. And that is a little shocking. You know, moving from house cat to a lion is like, no wonder this feels so bizarre to you. Like, where did this come from? I'm used to creating opportunities or finding opportunities in my life that reflect house catness, but these opportunities are reflecting lionness. Starseed, yeah, new hope, new vision, new sense of your future. It's a pretty big reading for a month, you guys. And then Three of Cups, also some community coming through here. Whatever opportunities, whatever new empowerment, whatever inner knowing is coming, I think it's going to open you up to like real soul tribe type situations. Yeah, your star, whatever star system you originated from, you're like reconnecting with people from the same system. Okay, let's end with a divine feather message. Something simple and sweet. We've got Raven. What? The universe is calling you to notice important synchronicities. So you've got serendipity, synchronicities. We've already sort of talked about this, like, yeah, and that's the thing, because it's so different or bizarre, however that resonates to you, that whatever opportunity arises or synchronicities come, you may originally miss some of the signs of this because it's so different than what you're looking for. So this is just like a message from Spirit to start noticing those. Don't take these messages, the synchronicities, the serendipitous things that come, lightly just because they're different from what you're looking for. They're very important, and they're very much so leading you towards whatever crazy shift this is. Wow. All right. Yeah, this is your May reading. I would be incredibly interested at the end of May to hear from some of you of like what happened and see how potent this was, or if it was more subtle than this seems to be. But anyway, if this resonated with you guys, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Sweet, kind, thoughtful comments are always fun to peruse, and definitely subscribe if you are not yet. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your May 2023 forecast outlook. So I'm doing this a little differently than usual. I've set it up so we're going on a little bit more of a journey, like what's our journey through May, versus how I used to do it with kind of categories of life. So this center card here that you chose, I am using as sort of like the motor of this journey. So we're going to look at your energy entering May, get a little bit of a read on that, and then look to this jade stone for sort of a reason why you will be moving from the energy you enter with toward kind of a different energy by the end of May. So where we start and where our journey forward sort of takes us. So just tapping into, in general, the wording under Jade here on this particular Jade card, it says be the bigger person. So I do sense that for some of you in May, there may be some conflicts or some things that you're needing to confront. And for others of you, that kind of require you to be a bigger person. And for others of you, may just prove to be a month that helps you to see ways in which you have evolved and matured based on certain things that come up and how you handle it, and being able to kind of step back and be like, wow, I handled this or that really well. Like, I totally see some new quality in me that's stabilized, that's allowed me to be, just like a little bit more mature in my sense of self and my ability to respond to and behave in life. So either way, whatever, resonates for you, and you may have a little bit of both there. Okay, so let's look at where you're entering May from. The hyena. So that's very interesting. I actually love this. To me, right off the bat, I'm getting the sense that there is an aspect of you that's really amazing and brilliant that you don't take seriously enough. It's like you haven't fully understood with a certain sense of maturity in life what this quality, what this aspect of you could do for you, or how much it should be utilized to kind of empower you in life. And I don't know if it's a part of you you've like disowned a little, so you tease about it, or if it's a part of you you've just never really realized is, more original and amazing than you give it credit for. Whatever you resonate with, but there's something you're starting the month out in that it's like as you get into May, you're just on the cusp of starting to recognize some quality in you that has been underutilized, undervalued, that you haven't taken seriously, and all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, this is actually like such a key thing to drive my life. Like, what am I doing by not like honoring and valuing and using this aspect of me? Let's get some astrology around that. Yeah, I think you've had a lot of doubt about your ability to communicate, the kinds of ideas you have, the refinement and intricacy you may have with like language and connection, and a real mastery there. I don't know if you don't see that in yourself, or if this is something that you have natural talent in and you haven't spent enough time to make it into a skill set, or if it's something about you, the way this presents in you, that's very unique that you've just tried to suppress a little or something. Whatever resonates for you, but I think you're starting to understand something as you come into May about this. You're starting to have this aha about like, wow, I've really always taken that lightheartedly or kind of thought it was silly or something, and it's like, no, it's starting to hit for you how important this thing is. Let's get a little more context about this. Yeah, it really holds some keys for you. It's like, sometimes in life, what we perceive as our greatest flaws or weaknesses end up being our greatest strengths once we sort of confront and work with these things and recognize how these are the things that make us originals. And I think you're getting that, and I think that by newly integrating this aspect of yourself that you've maybe either not taken seriously, disowned, or repressed, I should say, it's like it's unlocking your true path in life by starting to take it seriously, or starting to develop something that you've not thought you could develop. That's like I said, it's a natural talent, but maybe not a skill yet for some of you. Or maybe this is something that's already a skill and you're just, or just something about you that would really unlock your true path forward in life. And it's like you're getting it. The sun is coming up on this. It's shedding clarity. It's helping you to come into better, more purposeful alignment with this, and helping you to see it as, just truly a key to your real path forward and what you dream about in life. So, no small feat there. Okay, so and this makes me feel like whatever comes up around needing to be the bigger person, whether that's you just recognizing this thing in you more maturely and taking it more seriously, hence adding to your maturity, or there being certain scenarios in your life that kind of force you to take these things more seriously because of some sort of contention and needing to kind of be the bigger person, and then you seeing through that how important some side of you is that you've kind of blotted out or laughed at. There's something about all of this that's leading to, some other destination through me. So let's see what that is. Fire ant. Ooh, yeah, I think it's really going to unlock a lot of repressed kind of anger. It doesn't surprise me seeing this come out. A lot of times when we recognize something that we've really shoved down, when we release it or have those ahas about how important they are, it can unleash some fury. So whether or not it's you having ahas or there being some contentions in life that kind of force you to see things differently, whatever it is, this side of you is going to be seen by you, and it's going to let a whole bunch of rage out of you that's been building up because you've not let this side of you be taken seriously. This side of you that's like a key to your path forward in life, to what you want in life. I think a lot of this anger, this fire ant stuff that's coming out might be towards yourself. So give yourself grace. This is, that's why we're here on this human journey. We're here to learn through these types of things. This is not an uncommon story. And oftentimes that the amount of, sometimes when we see how something that we've kind of locked away in life has really detrimentally affected so much of our life, it can make us really angry, but there's also something about having gone through that makes it that much more important to you now than maybe it would have felt had you integrated or matured this aspect of yourself much earlier. And so even though you may feel some anger at not having embraced some aspect of yourself, like really, really, truly, or really gotten on like that deep level, how important it is to take some aspect of you more seriously. That time of marinating within and, in some anger, and I'm not saying that we should all repress things in order for this to happen, but it just makes it that much more powerful. Yeah. So the other thing I'm seeing about this is once you sort of let this out, let this kind of side of you just like forceful, like passionately be given the credence you know it should be given, it's like you're also going to get this response to that of other people in awe and other people wanting to be of assistance or be part of this, or you may, whatever you connect with and kind of release with passion, it may resonate with many others who are doing the same thing. It might be a little different for each of you, but whatever the case, it's going to be noticed. Very, very much so noticed. Okay, let's get a little bit of astrology context around the fire ant. Man, so many, I don't know. I almost feel like every pile has had a 6 this reading. That's interesting. At least 3, if not all. Yeah, something connected to your purpose, how you cultivate your days, the kind of skill set you own, and how you value that. A whole different way of connecting to the beauty of something within you and the power of it is really getting unleashed in how you see your purpose and how you cultivate certain skills, how you organize priorities in your day-to-day. Yeah, it's something very empowering, though, is really getting unleashed here. It's a little mysterious, but and I think it's just because it's probably somewhat different for all of you. But let's see what else we can get here. Oops. Flexibility. Interesting. Let me sit with that for just a second. Tiger, there's another path. Tiger on a path. Okay, so I think whatever you wake up to about yourself that you're starting to realize needs a lot more credence and a lot more value in your life about you. Whatever is coming into a new sense of maturity and revere, I think it is going to, even though it holds the key to sort of your path forward and what you dream about, I think because for so long you've been closed off to that path, it is going to alter your path once you wake up to this. And so you're going to need to really stay flexible, because I think your path is going to suddenly kind of pivot and go through some twists and turns in order to get you onto this correct path. So you're going to need to stay a little bit flexible as your life and the path you're on shifts to help this aspect of you integrate into your path forward. Wow, these are pretty potent readings. Okay, let's get some context a layer deeper about this journey. Got truth be told, here and now. I like this card. Fork in the road. Yeah, you're gonna have to choose a different path. You're gonna need to stay flexible to really take a minute to integrate and feel what's coming through and how that's shifting things for you and creating very different options. And I think the more weight and value and credence you give to what's kind of coming to light for you, the more clear it's going to be what these forks are about and which way to go. But if you kind of resist this and continue to repress it, I think you're going to be a little bit confused about your path. But I think ultimately, even if you kind of don't quite get on the right one by the end of May or quite know how this pivot is supposed to work, I think all paths, now that you are integrating this, will lead to the correct one. It's just some may be more difficult than others, and that's why it's saying be flexible, because you may, with old habits and old wiring and whatnot, still kind of sometimes steer a little incorrect for this new thing that's integrating in importance in you. But with that flexibility, you will end up on that path that is your singular path. And okay, so going back, sorry, I kind of skipped ahead to that last card, but it was speaking very loudly. Yeah, truth be told, this owl is standing on, I'm sorry, I'm laughing because there's some little neighbor kids that are teasing our dogs through the fence. I don't know why. Anyway, I usually take these things as signs, so if something comes through about what that might mean in this reading, I'll say, but have to sit with that. Anyway, yeah, I mean, this owl is standing on a mask, and this gives me, and then it's got this window opening to its heart, and this is giving me some insight into what this aspect of yourself, I don't know what the aspect is, but I do know that it is very much connected to you standing with strength and with heart in your wisdom and your intuition. And I think you've been wearing a mask around the way your heart connects to your intuition. I honestly think it's like more subtle, more advanced, maybe a little bit more mystical than most people. So at least in your community or culture. And so to kind of like fit in, I think you've had to not show that side of yourself, but I think and I think this is something that you may already be somewhat aware of, but it's like some things are coming to light. About these truths of yourself that you're kind of masking away, that are just so hard to deny anymore, so hard to hide them anymore because of how important they're now being seen, in terms of leading you to your destiny. And it's like you have to step out of that mask. You see no other option for whatever reason for each of you. It'll probably be different, but there's something. And I think it can be a really scary thing to do that, but I think whatever happens here, it's going to be nothing but feeling like freeing, kind of setting you free, setting your heart free, and really allowing you to travel to the destinations you're meant to be a part of. Really cool. Oh, wow. Sorry, I'm not... I get so absorbed in one thing that I don't notice like what the other cards are that I haven't gotten to yet. But this here and now, and this is directly the past and the future. This is a chapter break. This is an absolute, whatever goes on in May, there's life before that and there's life after that, very distinctly marked in your history. If you were to look back 20, 50 years from now, this is going to be a month where you're going to say, wow, like my path completely pivoted when this thing happened, when this new integration, when myself taking myself more seriously happened. I don't know that it's as a whole, but some aspect of myself as seriously as I should have, like it completely altered my path in life. And yeah, it led me on a few twists and turns, and I had to be flexible to really get on the path I've ended up on now. That's my ultimate, unique, singular path. But that was the month, that was the time, this was the thing that happened that made me pivot, that made me step into my wisdom, my intuition, my heart, my whatever it is for you that may even be more nuanced than that, my mysticism, my style of humor, my showing my writing, embracing that I want to be an actress or an actor, or my desire to have a child, or my whatever you haven't taken seriously but that is there. There's something, yeah, I mean, there's some aspect of you that yeah, I mean, different for each of you, so I think that's why it's hard to really pinpoint what that is. Okay, let's get another layer deeper here. You know, and I'm just going back to those kids that were poking around at my dogs and teasing them. My dogs are unique. They don't have normal vocal cords. It's a breed of dog that has a very different vocal cord, so their sounds sound very different. They don't bark. They have like yodels and little Tasmanian devil sounds. And they were making those sounds, and the kids were like, I think they were, you know, kind of making fun because they don't, you know, it's different, but also like fascinated and curious. And that, whatever this may relate to for you, may have that feel to it, where people are intrigued, but they may kind of like think it's funny because it's different than what they're used to. But you know, once someone understands this breed and knows more about them, it's like totally, there's nothing weird about it to them at that point. They're like, oh yeah, they just make those noises, you know. And so I think it's as simple as that, like whatever you're, you know, laughing at about yourself because it's a little different, it's like once you just let it be seen for what it is and like own it and say, this is something I love about myself, and sort of express it more and more. I think the more and more people that get familiar with it embrace it, and they're like, yeah, that's just, you know, what they are, and that makes them them, and that's given them this really cool original path, you know. So maybe that's what the kids were about. Okay, so we've got pressure, transformation, and ignition, fire. Yeah, this is bringing you to life. Oh, with the fire ant, look at that. And then I just knocked the candle fire. Yeah, this is, I mean, again, just going back to this fire ant, this is something that you've repressed, that's been under pressure for, you know, it keeps getting buried and buried, so it keeps building up pressure and building up pressure, and whatever happens this month, it's like you can't contain it any longer. It's like a volcano, but your passion comes alive here, and people start to see and understand because you're now willing to really own this and show it what this is, and they see it as, I mean, like a unique genius. You know, look at all this stuff. This feels like, you know, the scribbles of a genius or something. But whatever it is for you that comes out, it's just like, I think it will be very impressive to people. But it's just like there's no, the pressure it's been under, it's just, yeah, it's ready to blow. You guys, sorry. I hope you didn't come to this reading wanting some peace, because this is not going to be a peaceful transition. It's going to be explosive, but I think exciting. And it will transform you. It will transform you from the path you're on to the path you're meant to be on. This pressure valve, like a pressure cooker, is releasing, and that transformation is going to happen like that. Okay, let's look at some tarot to just get a layer extra nuance here, and then we will, to end it, get a divine feather message for you guys. Okay, the Lovers. Yeah, to me, the Lovers so often represents really coming in alignment with ourselves, stopping, or at least figuring out ways to resolve inner tensions and finding those true alignments within, finding our inner belonging, which translates and then results in like outside belonging. So I think you're finally resolving some inner tension you've really held within you about you. Yeah, it's rebirthing, transforming you, rebirthing you. You're feeling like, a new invigoration, a new connection to your heart. It's resolving some emotions within you that you've had, and giving you sort of a revived, a renewed sense of value for your heart, for your emotions, for your sense of being. Just your sense of being is just newly alive and like fully born into its meant self. And that pressure valve, that release valve, is releasing a whole bunch of mental anguish. It's releasing you from some, mental health challenges. Not that there's like anything, diagnosable there, but just like, you're coming to, just this brick wall where there's no more going forward. Until you embrace this aspect of you that you've been repressing. You're hitting the wall with it, and there's been years and years, maybe a lifetime of mental anguish with this, and you're just ready to release. It's going to release kind of explosively. So, oh, yes. And I love seeing this last card, Perspective, which is the Hanged Man. But the way I read it, this is you starting to drop into your heart and letting go of old perspectives, old perceptions, and allowing your heart to be your eyes, to be your guide, and to seeing and navigating life from a much more heart-centered, beautiful, cosmically aligned place. Gorgeous. I love seeing that at the end for you guys. So but it may feel like one way of being is over, and sometimes we do have to grieve that. It can feel sad to let go of one way of being, but I think that how it's going to feel to stand in your whole being, or into this aspect of you that's integrated into your being, is going to feel so much more vital, alive, and passionate than than what you feel the need to grieve. And so it will be quite easy to get over. Okay, the Crane is your feather message. It says, you will soon enter into a beneficial partnership. Love and longevity bless this union. And so we see the Lovers here, I think, as you kind of resolve some inner tensions within you and come into full alignment and full acceptance of yourself. that opens you up to much more harmonious partnerships and belonging with others. So I love seeing this too, that like immediately, some point in May, this is already attracting in those much more aligned and beautiful partnerships with potential longevity, real harmony, real union. And if you're already in sort of like a love relationship that feels great, this doesn't have to be that. It can be, you know, a real soul friend. It can be a business partner. It could be an advocate for something, but someone, or an agent, whatever it is, but and this could be multiple things. It could be love. It could also be a business partner and an agent. You know, it could be all of the above. But I think these kind of much more soul-centered, very aligned relationships and partnerships start to kind of flock into you as you really kind of, you know, settle this tension within you, figure out how it harmonizes, and really step into it with this volcanic burst and kind of release, you know, with the fire ants, release repression with this 10 of Swords. Allow yourself to acknowledge that you've hit the wall on this, you know, repressed part of yourself, and just fully transform. Yeah. Wow, big. Everyone's had a really big May, but I do guess that as we enter May, we're in eclipse season, so maybe that's the thing. All right. Anyway, this is where I'm gonna leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Thoughtful and kind comments are always appreciated. I'm always grateful to see little kind notes, and definitely if you are not subscribed, please do so. All right, see you guys later.